doing a really quick live stream with you all tonight. I will not be long at all. It is a big Tuesday evening, and it works out that it's Tuesday because normally I am live doing the podcast on Tuesdays over here on YouTube. And so the podcast is on its break. We completed season one about 3 weeks ago. And so the podcast is breaking for a couple of weeks and we'll be back mid towards the latter end of October for season two. So tonight was a perfect night to jump on and just give you some really brief details for how the Creative Scholar Book Club will go. I just wanted to go over it. I pretty much typed it out within the book club group. I've shared it on my Substack, but I figured if I do a really quick video, I'll be able to share a little bit more in a shorter amount of time, and you'll be able to come back and look at it. And I'll continue to post it up until Friday, which will be our first book club meet. And so let's just talk a little bit about the book club. And for those of you who have already joined in the Facebook group, I'm so excited because I think it's going to be so interesting to hear everyone's take on the different books that we read together in the book club. So let's start with logistics. So right now, the book club is scheduled to alternate between a Friday evening and a Saturday morning. Once we get rolling and get going pretty good, because it's for the fall, so it'll last for about 3 months. Once we get rolling and get going pretty good, if we need to make an adjustment to that, we can. But I figure Friday evenings are pretty good for a lot of people because that's when they're able to wind down. They're able to, take time for themselves. If you have a family, your children may be in bed or, in the next room enjoying a Friday evening, and you might be able to slip away and participate in the book club virtually for now. But what I would like to do is end the book club season with maybe an in-person meetup or two. Maybe we'll do a meetup in more than one city, because right now we have members in the Facebook group that are from all over. So, we have members in the Facebook group that are from South Carolina, some that are from Georgia. We have members in the Facebook group that are international. We have members in the Facebook group in Florida, Los Angeles, St. Louis, the DMV area. We have quite a mixture in the Facebook group as far as where people are from. And so it'll be cool to do a meetup at the end of the book club season with, a meetup or two with people who want to meet up. So if that happens to be people who are in various parts of the country, that'll be amazing. I think it'd be amazing to do at least one thing where we actually get together. And honestly, I think that's going to be one of the fun things of doing the book club, is going to be getting a chance to share our thoughts on what we're reading and getting to meet people from different places that have a common interest of reading, even if we don't all necessarily agree on some of the subject matter that we're reading about, right? So back to the logistics. Right now, it'll either meet on Friday evening or like a Saturday morning. This first one is going to be this Friday, and it'll be at 7:30 p.m. It will run for 1 hour tops. We don't want to be on for too long, but hopefully we'll be able to get some really good discussion in within that hour. And then maybe we'll have something where people who want to stay on can stay on, which brings me to the next thing. Right now, the plan is to stream the book club meeting, but also to have a Zoom set up. So basically, what I'll do is I will post the Zoom link in the group so that everyone who wants to be on the Zoom can actually click into the Zoom and we can see each other's faces. We can talk and we can really connect and converse over the book. But then I will also be streaming to YouTube. So, and here's why, at least to get started. What I learned is that Facebook groups used to allow you to stream with a third party into the Facebook group. So previously, you could use a streaming service and you could stream into a Facebook group. Now, you can't do that. So either I would just have to go live within the book club, which means that, and maybe I will do something exclusive for just the people who are in the Facebook book club page. But we do have book club members that are not on Facebook. So we do have some book club members that they will join in via YouTube, and you'll be able to see them if when we get going and people do want to go live with me, and you'll be able to see them because I will stream into Facebook with the streaming service. So they'll be able to get on and you'll be able to see people who want to speak. But the more communal part of it, the part where it's really going to be us just being a community, will be via the Zoom link. So everyone who's in the book club will have the Zoom link. So right now, the main ways to be accounted for in the book club is, one, to join the group in Facebook, and then two, if you subscribe to my Substack, I will send the Zoom link to you via Substack. So even if you're not on Facebook, you'll be able to get in the Zoom and be a part of the book club. So those are like the basic things. Right now, it's set to run Friday evenings at 7:30, and then once we get going and we get to talking, we can kind of gauge whether some people would like to alternate between the Friday evening and the Saturday morning, or if everybody's like, let's just take Friday evenings and run with it. We're going to meet once a week for now, especially since it's virtual. We'll meet once a week since it is virtual. And we started with a short book. And because the book club for right now is just for the fall, it's only going to be, for 12 weeks. So it won't be like every Friday for the entire year we meet for the book club. It'll be, we meet during the cozy fall months for the book club. And, if people have to miss a Friday here and there because they're out and about living like people should on Friday nights, if they desire to, that's cool. And then, we will always have the Saturday morning alternative, just in case I need to go and live a little bit on a Friday night as well. So that's the plan. If you're in the Facebook group, you're going to see this because the link is in the Facebook group. And once it is over, maybe I'll repost it, and then I'll just post those things in the group as well and send you some reminders of when we're getting ready to get on Friday night for this week. So our first book club meeting is this coming Friday, October the 4th at 7:30 p.m. All you have to do is log into the book club page, the book club group in Facebook if you've already joined the group, and you will see the Zoom link posted there. And then you will also see the YouTube link posted there as well for people who want to watch and are not able to join in for the Zoom. All right, that's what we'll do to start out. All right, but as we get into it and we really start to discuss things, I will post the link to Substack. So it will go to my Substack subscribers. And if they are not on Facebook, in the Facebook group, that's fine because we will all be together in the Zoom. So that's another important thing to say. The book club will not be once we get to talking. We're just getting warmed up right now. We'll have our first week where we discuss the book on Friday, but then it'll be where any kind of stream will be private. It will be by link only. So either you're in the group or the link came to you via Substack. So that's something that I think is important because, especially for a Zoom, like I'm not gonna put the Zoom won't be just where anybody can watch it on YouTube. The Zoom will be it's a private link that is given to the people who are in the book club. So all of that to say, if you're not on Facebook, it is completely fine. You will still be able to gather with us via Zoom, right? But if you are in a book club on Facebook, you will be able to stream the book club meeting, even if you're not able to sit down and be on Zoom. You will have access to that stream. All right. So those are the logistics just to get us ready because Friday is going to come soon. But and we'll talk about this more in the Zoom on Friday when everybody's able to share their insight. But I'm excited about doing the book club because there's just something about reading and discussing someone else's thoughts in totality, the way they shared in their writing. There's just something about that that humanizes us all. There's something about that just reminds us all that we are made of flesh. And to me, that's whether it is nonfiction, whether it is wellness reading, whether it is theological, whether it is talking about mental health, whether it is talking about family systems, whether it is talking about food. I'm really excited about some books. Some books that I'm thinking about for future that have to do with like the food that we eat in the brain and all of those kinds of things. Those are some of my ideas. But I'm also excited to hear suggestions from you guys on books that y'all are interested in that you share with me that I'll be able to consider to make a selection for the next couple of books that we'll read. Right now, we're doing one book a month, and we started with a book. The book that we're reading this month is called The Release of the Spirit by Watchman Nee. And I believe the book is only 115 pages. And so we're starting small. And hopefully we will build our stamina to be able to read a little bit more. Some of you that are in the book club or that will be in the book club, already read a lot. Like every day, you read more than you are on social media already. And so that's great. And then others of us will be building our stamina again to read more. And so, yeah, we started small just so everyone can be able to fulfill whatever pages we're going to be reading. And so everyone will be able to contribute to the conversation and not feel like, oh, well, they read 60 pages this week. I'm not going to be able to catch up with that. I don't want anyone to feel that way. And so even though that wasn't even the reason why I chose the first book, but it just worked out that it is a shorter book that we started out with. So I'm excited to hear everyone's thoughts about the book that we're reading. I believe it is going to be a challenging read, and I know that there will be some different takes on some of the things that we'll read. I'm already in some pages in the Release of the Spirit where I'm like, and the book is a little bit older. The original manuscript I believe it was written like in the 70s. I have to go back. But the book is a little bit older, and so we're going to notice, and I don't want to say too much, but I just can't wait to hear what y'all have to say about it, because some of the language that is used by the author of the book is going to be triggering for some of us, especially those of us who have embraced some of the language of mental health and psychology. So some of the things that we will hear this theologian say is going to be a little triggering, and I want us to talk about it. I want us to talk about how how we see and learn and receive certain things based upon our own experiences and our own background knowledge and presuppositions, or our own just the way we come to things, what we think when we come to new things. And so, everything that we experience that is new, we do bring our past with us. And so, how we are processing that, or maybe how some of us have, walked through different things, is going to impact the way we receive what this writer is writing. Another thing that I think is important for us to pay attention to when we're reading different books, especially, well, any book really, but paying attention to the background of the author, because that's going to impact, that's the background and the culture of the author. Of course, the time is going to impact like how that author is thinking. So that's always going to be important for us to consider. And I think it's interesting. It's going to be interesting how when we talk about the background of the author of this book, we will be able to see how some of this author's culture and the way this author's culture embraces religion and spirituality, namely Christianity, how it, you can see the coloring of that in the writing. And so those are the main things, y'all. That's the info session. This wasn't designed to be very long. I know, and I didn't say this coming in, we all have had some trying days coming through here. I'm still surprised every time I look on the news, or every time not even on the news, but the news on YouTube, social media, but then seeing like people post, like I'm seeing a new city that was demolished by the recent hurricane. So yeah, we've all kind of walked through a lot. So I'm not glossing over that at all. I really, it was really a thing for me to just set my mind to come on here and share what I knew would be important for y'all to know, even if you are just coming back to watch this a few minutes before we even start the first book club meeting on Friday. Yeah, that's pretty much it. If you are interested in joining the Creative Scholar Book Club and learning a little bit more about it, you are welcome to join the group in Facebook, or you are welcome to subscribe to my Substack, which is basically my publication. And I'll shoot more info over to you about the book club. Thematically, the Creative Scholar Book Club is similar to the Creative Scholar Podcast in that we are meeting at what I call the intersection of theology, psychology, and creativity. For the book club, I don't want anyone to think it's like limited to creativity as in a person that is a creative, but literally how our theology, psychology, our experiences, how we think about things, how we process them, our unique makeup, how it impacts what we experience in life, how we see things, how we view the world, and how we view ourselves, how we view God, and how we interact with each other. And so that's one of the great things about reading. It really gives you a chance to it gives us a chance to not just think about ourselves and how we have processed or experienced something, but how other people process and experience things. And so in doing so, we get to know God better, we get to know ourselves better, and we become better people to other people as well. And so that is definitely a goal for me. Growth spiritually, mentally, emotionally, socially are all goals of mine through reading. And I very much hope, for myself and many others, that the more time we spend reading, maybe the less time we will spend on social media, and the more we'll be able to really process and put into practice the things that we're learning. Um, and then also, I believe, reading is very much self-care. We definitely can consider reading a fiction book. And I'm going to ask you guys about that because I am not in the know at all about fiction. I am a nonfiction girl. Although over the years, there's been like maybe 2 or 3 fiction books that I've read. I probably read 2 or 3 fiction books in the last 20 years or so. But I've enjoyed them thoroughly, and they've been very like relaxing, very therapeutic for me, while at the same time helping me to think about and process things that are beneficial to my wellness. So fiction is definitely a thing. Um, Another thing is there are men and women in this group, which I think is completely amazing because we bring different perspectives, humans in general, 5 different women bring 5 different perspectives because we all are having a different human experience, but we have a lot in common as well. And so I think it's great that we have some guys in this group. Many of you are good friends of mine, people that I've known for many years, some more closely than others. So I am excited to have to hear a male's perspective on certain topics that we're going to be discussing in the book club. I just think it's going to be so, 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 so cool. And I think it's going to be, social media has its value. We're thankful for it. It's entertaining, and it is informative in some ways. But there's a way in which when we talk about things, we can become very flippant when we are just responding to stuff on social media because, like for example, Facebook is literally our thoughts. Just literally what comes to our minds, we're posting it. For some people, it might be more strategic. It may be a prayer, but that's literally the prayer that came to my mind. The prayer I posted this week was a prayer that I thought through and maybe even wrote down for myself. And so I just shared it on Facebook. So, people don't usually respond negatively to prayers. So that might not have been the best example. But, there's a lot of things that we post that are literally just our thoughts. Sometimes they're humorous, but sometimes they help us to just see like, oh my gosh, we all over the place, but we are all living the same life here. It does help us to relate to each other. But I believe like talking through and thinking through things that we have read in full and just had to put that focus into is just going to be very enriching. Now, I would love to know from any of you in the comments, or you can let me know in the Facebook page if you would like, or even on Substack. If you have ever been in a book club before, and what did you love about being in a book club when you've been in a book club before? What did you enjoy about it? What did you not enjoy about it? I would love to know, like, what was your favorite book that you read when you were in a book club? Because believe it or not, I don't recall ever being in a book club. Now, I've been, in a lot of groups that have read books, but that was usually like a part of a larger, like, thing. And then like of course in middle school I was in a book club because it was a competitive book club. So there was a handful of us that let me see. There were 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, 5 at the most. I think maybe 3 or 4 actually. And we just had this long list of books and we would try to read all of the books so that when they asked questions about certain books in the competition, it was called a Battle of the Books. That's probably the closest I've been to a book club. And that's when I was in middle school. So kind of doesn't really count because I'm pretty sure we weren't discussing the depth of these things. Yeah, so that's it, y'all. We're at 24 minutes. I'll end here. I thank you for those of you who did press your way on tonight, and for those of you who will press your way on tomorrow or whenever and watch the replay. Because I pressed mine. I pressed mine. I definitely pressed mine today, and I'm looking around at the things that I need to do before I hit the sack, and my goal is to go to sleep at a reasonable time tonight because I am, yeah, running on literal fumes at this very moment. And so um, I hope that reading, and it is a part of my plan that my reading is even going to help me to continue continue to work towards regulating my sleep schedule. Because I will want to read at night. I do read. I do read at night, and so I want to have ample time to read the pages that I want to read before lights out. And so I'll end with this, and then I will just type this in within the group, so you don't have to watch the whole video to know this piece. But we are going to be starting with Watchman Nee, the release of the Spirit, this Friday at 7:30. If you go to the book club in Facebook or you subscribe to my Substack, both of which I will leave the links to in the description of this, you will get the Zoom link to join the book club meeting, which will start at 7:30. I will aim to be on and live by 7:15 for those people who want to just jump on and say hello, so we can jump right in and get the hour going and get you guys out on time. That's gonna be, I'm making a promise that I'm gonna try my very best to keep, and just show me a little grace on Friday as we figure out like how this is gonna flow. And truth be told, Friday might be a little bit longer, especially if it's in Zoom. If depending on how many people actually come into the Zoom instead of just watching the live stream, we might get into a good discussion and get a chance to meet each other. So we'll see how it goes on Friday, but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be amazing. And I cannot wait to learn from some of you and get to know some of y'all a little bit better, and even get reacquainted with some of you that I haven't like talked to in depth in years. I see some of my CIU friends are going to be in the book club. Some of my friends from the great metropolitan city of Columbia, South Carolina are going to be on. I have some family members that will be on. I have some friends from the Atlanta area. Yeah, it's some folk from all over that it's gonna be fun just to hear your insight and to see you guys get to meet each other and us to learn and grow around these books. All right, I'm sure there's something I forgot, but what's gonna happen is I'm going to end up typing it in the group, and I will share it in the YouTube community as well, for now, just to get started and let people know about it still, because there might still be a couple of people who want to join. And then, yeah, we'll we'll get started on Friday, and then we'll make sure that everybody's straight. Just go ahead and get your book. I will also put the link to the book in the description. If you want the Kindle version, you can, of course, get that on Amazon and download it immediately. And if you want the hard copy, I guess depending on where you live and where it's coming from, you can probably get it in a day or two. But of course, things might be a little bit delayed right through here because of the aftermath of the hurricane. So praying for everyone. I pray that God will be with each of you where you are with whatever you are experiencing in this moment. I pray that those of you who are heavily impacted by the storm, that you will be provided for, that you will be encouraged, and that you'll be able to find a sense of normalcy in the very near future. And for those of us who, we just lost a little power and came back, we're still all a little off kilter with the schedule. Like, we just went back to school today. Our district just went back to school, and many of your districts are still out of school. So, I just pray for everyone that we will, make it through this trial of what's happening with the storm, with the whole strike and just the personal things that each of us are walking through. I love that we can still be motivated to come together with some hope that we will learn, some hope that we will be encouraged, and some hope that we can contribute to one another simply by just being in the room. All right. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Please feel free to pop your questions in the comment section, or if you're in the group. Or you're also welcome to send me a question to info@drdannetta.com. Info@drdannetta.com. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing evening, and I will see you in the book club on this Friday, October the 4th at 7:30 p.m. in the Facebook group or on Substack. The Zoom link will be coming to you, so I hope to see you in the room. All right, thank you so much again. Have an amazing night. Bye-bye.